All
Okay,
right. It's
I'm
connecting.
recording now. What did I do? Oh yeah, let me just minimize this and I'll go to
All right. How's it going, everybody? This is Jax Atlantis, and today we are doing another live chat, and I'm doing it with StariAri, Toltec Shaman. Definitely check out her YouTube channel. It's absolutely incredible. She is a extremely practiced and knowledgeable Sagittarius of so many different spiritual practices. Starry, tell them a little bit about yourself and like what you do.
So what I do is I feel people up. Just kidding. I do energy work. All right.
I was
You're
not
what
expecting
the fuck?
that answer.
So I get in your goodies. Just kidding. Your energy field. I get in there, and I'm a medical intuitive. That means that I feel exactly what's going on physically in your body, and then I get information about that via your higher self or your guides, whoever pops up. I'm also highly clairvoyant, and my gifts vary. I guess I would say seasonally. So
Mm.
like what I was explaining to Jax recently, I've been getting a lot of physical situations, a lot of auditory information as well. So it just depends where
Yeah.
I'm at and how open I am. And apparently, I've been open a lot this year. So I do a lot of energy work as well as I teach it. And I do initiate a lot of people on the Toltec Shaman path, as well as I do tarot reading, channeled messages, and actual channeled artwork with emphasis on light language information being downloaded, and of course, any type of upgrades and things like that. So, yeah. And I'm also
Yeah.
studying to be a psychologist.
Yeah. Tell us about that journey. How has that been? Because originally you were planning to go in for which degree?
It was naturopathic medicine. The reason why I chose psychology is because it actually was approved by the VA. I'm a veteran. So I got approved for my doctorate degree to be thoroughly just taken care of by the VA.
Mm.
So the only choices were that and other stuff like that. But I always had an inclination to psychology. I've always been fascinated by that, by what makes people tick, pretty much, you know,
Yeah.
because of my Virgo rising, of course. Because if you've noticed, there's a lot of Virgos in the psychology field. So,
And how do you
so
feel about that? How should we as non-Virgos feel about that?
I think, you know, it really does depend. Um, I've had good and bad experiences with with Virgos in the psychology field. I had a lot of professors actually at this time that are Virgos, and I absolutely love them because they're very direct. The only ones that I don't appreciate are the ones that are not direct. Because that's just how I am. I'm a direct person and I don't like to sugarcoat things. And so I appreciate their directness. I appreciate that they're very blunt, like I am,
Yeah.
regarding certain things, that they'll tell it how it is. And again, the ones that I didn't really like were the ones that are just like iffy, like I'm not sure if I should say this or not. You know, it's
Right.
just come on, just come out with it. You know what I
Come
mean?
out with it.
Like you're judging me already. I already know you're judging me, so might as well just say it, you know?
And what's your full list? Oh, and we have Elisa here. So Elisa, we have a Virgo in the house now. All of a sudden, it's like you summoned her. What's your what are you now aiming for as far as your degrees? Like what you're
Well,
planning?
I am doing my doctorate. Sure enough, I should be in a year. I should be in
Oh my
program.
God.
So it's going to be emphasis on family therapy, but I really do like working with children mostly. So I'm gonna try to do like kind of like a trying to assist children with autism
Hmm.
spectrum, and as well as any other um, pretty much disabilities, things like that. So I want to do that, and I want to help their families understand it better, so that they have the tools to use to manage or to assist their children, you know, better understand them, as well as assist them in having a better life. So that's what I want to aim for. Like, I do want to work with adults, of course, but I feel like my sole purpose is working with children. So
that's going to be awesome. And to what degree can you implement your spirituality in your practice? Like, to what degree is there like a line that's being crossed?
I think there isn't really. There's guidelines, of course, but it feels like the field of psychology has expanded on trying to merge spirituality or the need for holistic healing into the field itself. There's different forms of psychology. There's different therapies. There's different theories. And so you won't understand that unless you actually go to a therapist who has different types of certifications regarding that. A lot of people believe, oh, it's just a shrink or someone that you're going to talk to and they're going to tell you you're wrong or something's wrong with you. Not necessarily. There's more than that. There's a lot of people who I've actually was fortunate enough to run into that teach beyond that. There's people who are kind of like life coaches, where you could go and ask, you know, assistance with having to manage your, you know, anger management, having to manage even trying to set life goals and how to implement them into your daily, you know, life and things like that. Like kind of step by step, like kind of setting up a little list, you know. And so there's even people who do like I said, like their emphasis in the humanistic therapy, meaning that the human or you are the only thing that's important beyond anything else, you know. And so like the whole person, that's the emphasis in the therapy. And so again, like I said, there's a lot of things that are out there. We just don't know enough about them. I would say the public doesn't know enough about them because they're not in the direct field, or they just don't know who to go to. They're just getting referred out like to people who are, I would say, friends with your doctor, you know, like typical psychologists or therapists who don't have like certifications beyond like normal therapy, you know, things like that. So there's just a lot of things out there. I'm more or less, when I work with children, I'm doing beyond that. I'm going beyond that. I'm going with behavioral, how to teach them to manage their behavior, their anger, things like that through I would say art therapy is one of the things that I'm going to be using, play therapy, also kind of like the I would say kind of like the role playing as well, because there are some therapies where you can role play or you could pretend that the person is sitting right next to you, and then you could just say whatever you want to say to them, you know. But they're not there, of course, but just let it out, you know, just let the anger out, or let it, you know, whatever it was.
And it's like a perfect path for you. And we have Olivia in the audience talking about what though, and she said, tell Ari she can conquer anything in that lipstick. And I definitely agree. I actually was just about to get the same lipstick as Ari and then use that for my next video. And now it's like confirmation. We have the Lucid Mystic here. We've got Anne here. We've got Karen here, Elisa, Mahala. We just have everybody here. So yeah. So guys in the chat, what are some questions that you guys have for Ari? Do you have any? It can be any question. She'll answer any question. It can be your deepest, darkest secret. Just ask anything. I'm volunteering her for this. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. I want to see what happens. Let's just see where this goes.
Watch out.
You can ask her social security number. You can ask her anything.
What lotto number should I play?
What would be a good
I always get that. My sister always asks, give me some numbers. I'm like, what?
Right. No. Here's where I'm going with this. Is there a Toltec method to really tap into the Jupiterian energy where you feel like you'd connect to like luck and the lottery, abundance blasts like that, things like that? Is there something that people can do that is the equivalent of that? Obviously not, you know, getting bird bones and finding the numbers. You know, like I'm not like. I'm not expecting there's like a little raven's claw with like a 2 etched on it and like another one.
Sacrifice a goat.
Right. Right. Yeah, I think I'm also sort of veering off here into deep paganism, I think. So.
I know, I'm just like, well,
classic shamanism where you take raven claws.
I do want to emphasize something about the Toltec way.
Yes.
The Toltecs, I don't know if you guys ever knew who they were or even heard of them, but they were a very prosperous civilization in Mexico or Mesoamerica. Their empire actually expanded from Teotihuacan all the way up to the kind of like the area where the Mayans were. The Mayans actually existed at the same time that they did, but their civilization all of a sudden disappeared, just like the Mayans did. And all of a sudden, the Aztecs took over all of the ruins or the areas where the Toltecs used to reign. And
what do you think happened?
I think
I know that's like a 7-hour topic, but I mean, like, just in general, well, like, what do you?
They ascended because in their belief system, we came from the stars, and the whole purpose of humanity is to ascend or to go back to the beginning or to the oneness, you know, of creator. What happened with that civilization, it was like kind of a golden age of prosperity. There was peace all over the land, no wars, nothing like that. They all came together. They all kind of accepted everyone's belief system too, because there's tribes all over them that they conquered, but not conquered in a I would say in a way that was how we would think a conquest would go, where bloodshed was happening. No, they conquered in their spirituality, meaning that they went and they spoke about that, and they accepted the other people's spirituality into
Was
it.
there like an obvious benefit from some of the smaller tribes joining with a larger one, because then you have a consistency of food source and things like, you know, like,
and that's what happened.
I can see that.
It was a trading thing, you know, like they had a peaceful trading, they had peaceful trading of spiritual understanding as well, kind of like spiritual growth tools, things like that. They took from each tribe took from them, things like that. So it was very harmonious. And then they left, and then the Aztecs came and they fucked everything up, all of it.
And when do you think, so they left, when do you think they're coming back?
I think they're already here. Like, they've been here. They just are our guides, or we have ancestry with them. Because what I've read is everyone from Mesoamerica, or has the same lineage, has the same blood, has the same family or group of family. Because they said that migration happened from the north, and from the north, all the tribes migrated all the way to the tip of South America, and, you know, things like that. So we all have the same relatives. There's a lot of tribes in Native America that have the same folklore, where that we came from the stars, or our gods are the, you know, star people and things like that.
I can totally feel that. Definitely star people vibe.
Yeah. And so with this knowledge, there isn't really a trick of the trade when it comes to manifesting. It's more like a belief system. It's understanding that you as a human being, as a soul, can and willingly, you know, create the life that you desire. For me, manifestation has always been a term of will, where if I want something, I'm gonna get it. You know, like, that's my mindset.
Right.
You know, and like, for example, with the you know, the VA thing, I didn't even know that thing existed, you know. And one of my friends, you know, she told me, she's like, because I told her, I was like, oh, I gotta save money for like the student loans that I'm gonna have to pay back for my doctorate degree. And she's just like, no, why don't you apply for this? And I'm just like, what is that? It's some program for the VA where they help you and they pay for whatever you want to do. And I was just like, okay, so how long does it take? And she's like, it would take like 6 months to a year, but you gotta apply, you know. And I'm like, okay. And within a month, I got approved. Everything just happened within the month.
That was like, pretty crazy.
It was just like, bam. I I signed up for it. A week, like a few days later, I would say, yeah, a few days later, I got a phone call from my the guy that handled my case for the VA. And then I went to see him a week after that. And then he's like, I got you approved like the same day. And I'm just like, what? So, because I set my intention, I was just like, look, if you, like, I told my higher self and creator, I'm like, if you want me to be a doctor of psychology, then this is going to be approved. And I didn't time it or anything. I didn't say it has to be a month. No, I understood that I was supposed to take 6 months to a year for the approval process. And I was just, that's what I just said. I just said, I understand how long it takes, but as long as I get approved. And sure enough, within a month I got approved. I was like, that's like, what? So to me, it's a more of like your will. Like if you really, really want something, if you really emphasize on, okay, like I thoroughly understood that I wanted to be a doctor, that I wanted to help people in some way to help them heal themselves. And so that's exactly what this is going to afford me to do. And so it feels perfect, like everything was aligned. And so that's, to me, and Toltec shamanism is all about a will. It's all about, when it comes to healing, like assisting people with healing, it's their will that heals them. It's not us. We just facilitate. We just teach them the tools that they need at that perfect time to assist them in tapping into their own healing ability. And so that's the emphasis that Toltec shamanism is, and is also a universal vision about humanity coming together and acceptance, 100% acceptance of everyone, and not just hiding, like kind of like hiding the wisdom of the Toltecs from certain people, certain tribes and things like that, because in Toltec shamanism, we are all one, are all brothers and sisters. The galactic folks are brothers and sisters too, things like that. And so that's the difference, because there's other shamanic practices that wouldn't afford you the opportunity to understand their wisdom, for the simple fact that they are afraid that you will be undermining them, or you might use it for your own benefit and not to benefit humanity. And that's because they had that fear, because it happened to them many, many times. But in Toltec shamanism, yes, it did happen many, many times, but we're still not going to shut it down. We're not going to shut down the doors for those who are willing to learn, And so that's the beauty about it. That's why I like it, because
that's amazing.
It just opens you up. You don't have to be Mexican to be a you know what I mean?
Right. Like, that's good, because believe it or not, I'm actually not Mexican. And so if I was to try and learn it, I'm glad that that's not going to get in my way. You might look at me and be like, oh, he's definitely Mexican. Turns out I'm not even a little, 0%. So I'm glad that I still have a chance to get in there and still do this. But yeah, so what are some of your services that you're offering right now for teaching people how to connect with their gifts?
I do mentorships. I have them on my website. I have different ones, one-on-one mentorships. If you guys would like to see that, go on. Right now, the classes are all closed for initiation because of the Rona. So I can't really do physical initiations yet. So we have to wait until that passes. But as soon as that passes, then I'll open up new courses, and that's kind of like a monthly subscription. And it's only $40 a month, and I teach every week for that. But again, it's closed right now.
And they can find that at StariAri333.com, right? Like your services in general.
But the services itself, it's not on there because I can't take on anybody right now because of that.
Oh, right.
So what I do offer is chart readings, regular astrology and another one is your galactic astrology. Where we look at the star alignments when you were born.
That's really cool. Yeah, the galactic astrology is really awesome. I loved what you took a look at for me. I remember that. It was like eerily deep and accurate. You guys, I would definitely suggest any of you who are in this place where things feel formless, like you're trying to figure out where the next sort of destination point is, Definitely hook up with Ari, because like this is like, it's going to be a crazy detailed reading. It'll be very validating as far as how you got here, and then it'll be very directive as far as what to do next. Because the thing is with Ari and I are a lot different. For me, I'm an anti-prescriber. I prescribe nothing ever. I never tell anyone like, this is the direction you want to go. What I do instead is like, I go in all of these different areas and sort of show them like what they really want. But with Ari being Virgo rising, being Sagittarius, like just having a very like clear, the ability to just shoot an arrow really far, like she'll be like, this is like an amazing direction for you. And she's really good at it. She just identifies it like that. Like what you told me about the Pleiadians was like super helpful. And also there was another connection that you had made, but it tripped me out. It was about energy healing, and it was like so on the nose. I had goosebumps for like a day. I was just like pondering after the reading. So anyways, just check it out. She's super cool. Yeah, Lucid Mystic, definitely get that.
Yeah, I have that, and then I have my galactic heritage readings, when it's like a past life recap.
Yes.
Kind of like a thorough understanding of the cycles of healing that you've been through in this lifetime and why you went through those, and it has a connection to past life information that I channel directly, and then I channel and I tap into those specific lessons that you had to learn or you're going to learn in the future as well.
Yeah.
And that's a good. I love that one because it's just like all these crazy alien people show up.
Yeah.
All of your guides show up, and I'm just like, what?
Have you ever done a reading where the person had straight up nothing to learn?
No.
Oh. What about even mine? Even mine, I had something to learn. I'm surprised. I thought I had nothing to learn. I thought I knew everything. Okay. So, that's, I guess that's good to know. That's good. So we all have something to learn, is what
yeah, we all do. I do too.
That's crazy. That's a revolutionary thought right there. I like that.
It's just the willingness to learn is important.
I'm willing to think about that for sure.
You're willing to think.
I'm willing to think about learning. Now, Timmy E had a question. Have you seen the giant H-shaped rocks in Pumapunku? They are perfectly carved from stone, which we can't replicate today. And I believe that if I remember correctly, yeah, they were carved with like, we assume lasers or diamonds. Yeah. Like lasers or diamonds. Like that's the only way we could cut through that. Yeah. Because were they granite or were they something harder? I feel like they were harder than granite.
It was
giant multi-ton rocks that were carved perfectly.
It was impossible to have them that flawless without any type of like chiseling, things like that. Yeah. Because you would see it in the rock, especially if it's an ancient civilization that we think didn't have technology as advanced as we do now.
They do. So, they did.
But little do we know is that they did.
Is there technology buried under the pyramids, do you think?
I honestly think that they have found things, like we humans have found things, but we haven't disclosed them because there's kind of like, remember, if we disclose certain technologies that we find, then everything, historically speaking, all of the tales, all of the stories, all of the supposedly things that our historians supposedly say happened are kind of like irrelevant at this point, and so if we do that, if they do tell us, hey, truthfully, we did find this, but we're just hiding it, because a lot of my guys say they do have it, they're just withholding the technology, then a lot of, again, it's going to be irrelevant. Everything that has to do with our history as humanity, as a species, and how we got here, or evolution, things like that, will be irrelevant. And so people are not willing to disclose that yet, because look at what happened with the coronavirus. I think that people are ready. Like, that's why it's kind of like these little things that they do to see how the public would react, and it feels like that's exactly like, because I always tell my guys, like, are you serious? People are really acting this way, and they're just like, some people are, you know, some people really are, but not a high majority. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a high number of people who are overreacting. It just seems like that because of publications.
Yeah.
They're the loudest. Yeah, exactly. And or we're being told, you know, like, oh, look at how many numbers of people are going crazy, you know, things like that. And so it's kind of like a numbers game, when in fact humanity has,
in a way, I've gotten more sane for me. I don't know if that's a testament in a good way to my character or a bad way, but for me, I feel like this has actually been a pretty zen time as far as like not having all these different things. Now I've sort of like been reduced down to like just like the essentials of everything. And it's very monk-like, you know, there's like a lot of monk qualities in this situation. And I feel some people have gotten that. I love that all the animals are returning to all the places. You know, it's gonna be a little bit crazy in Italy when they're trying to use the gondola or whatever, and there's like all these like dolphins flying around throughout their streams, and there's jellyfish the other day that they found, right? Like just like, I mean, that'd be cool. Like, it'd be cool if there was a coexistence result here rather than that. But I think like there's a lot of things as well, is like now we've felt what it is to have good air again. Like, if you probably have good air where you are, right? You guys probably have, you guys, but I'm over in like Anaheim Hills in California, where it's like, you know, LA is no joke as far as their air quality. It's like not good, but I mean, it's been great for a little while now. And so people are, you know, this is like how life should be. We should have good air. That should never be something that's compromised. That's a little bit insane that we actually think of that as one of the options, like that not having air or water quality. And it's just really interesting. I assume there's probably a lot more people eating out more, but there's probably some people that have reacted in a positive way with cooking more. You know, making good things. I cook every one of my meals, you know.
It just feels better, and because you're energized into it, and you know, everything that you do to cook for yourself, it's just kind of like you're emphasizing on the health of your body, and kind of like understanding that, you know, the flow of the energy within you goes into the food, and from there it comes back into you, you know. So it's just better that way, instead of having someone who might be upset cooking your food.
I don't want that. I never even thought about that part of it. Now when I'm cooking my own food, I'm gonna be like, hey, like, let's bring a positive attitude into the frying pan here, because I'm gonna eat whatever emotions this is.
Because a lot of people do carry emotions when they, you know, like it, or when they cook too. It's like a release of emotion. So it's just it's emphasis on being mindful. That's what I find that's interesting. A lot of people are very mindful now. Like, a lot of people are not. That's okay, but a lot of people are, like, due to this, it's kind of driving us back to actually having a better understanding of ourselves, our temperament, and other people, you know, how we attract certain situations and things like that. So it's cool. I like it. I like it because I like being a hermit, and I've always wanted to be a hermit since I was little. So Well,
here's a question from Timmy. This is an interesting one. So Kim Jong-un, there's rumors that he's in a vegetative state, rumors that he's dead. What does your intuition say?
I get a big no on that. I get more of like a brush with health issues.
Interesting. I picked up vegetation state, but I'm open to that. I wonder. I mean, you can always get out of a vegetation state, I suppose.
I feel like there's a kind of like a understanding that if he chooses to remain, because it's a brush with death.
Wouldn't that be trippy as hell if he gets out of his brush of death and then like he like is like changed and he's like,
that's
hey guys,
that's the opportunity that's being presented at this time.
That's pretty crazy. Hey guys, I know I've been a little bit much in the past, years.
I gotta let you
turning over a new leaf.
Serve, you know. And
because it's like, it's crazy. And what would come next after him? Does he have sons?
He has a sister who's a Virgo, by the way.
Oh, that'd be great. Yes.
She looks like a hard ass.
Okay, well, maybe not.
She looks like she will kill somebody. Like,
okay.
Pick her up. she looks like she's gonna fuck you like for real.
Oh.
Like she doesn't have.
It would be neat to see a woman ruling North Korea. That's all I'm saying. It would just be neat because I think it's only been men, right?
Yes, it's only been men.
So here's her shot.
I feel because apparently there's a situation that him and his sister are really close, and
No,
when he was ruling,
I was kind of hoping she'd be the rebel of the family.
In his ear telling
Shit. So she's like the Voldemort. She's like the one that is behind. Oh man.
I don't know, but like for me, when I looked at her picture, I was like, oh, she looks like she doesn't take any shit, you know.
Well.
But him, he looks more like, because he's always smiling, right? Like he's like, you know. But
is he?
Yeah.
I guess maybe for him, yeah.
He's always smiling, or he always has this facade. But his sister's not smiling at all. She has like, this is me, you know, like that face, you know, like it's me.
Yeah, the Virgo stage.
Yeah, it's that yes, I'm judging you type of thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what to hope for now, I guess.
Well, what we want, like when I was living in South Korea, what they really want is to have open borders, you know. They really have, still a generation out there who has been separated from their families, and they have families in North Korea. And so that generation still wholeheartedly, you know, prays or hopes one day that they're going to be reunited with their family members in North Korea. And so to me, I think that would be very beneficial for everyone, especially because it's an ancestry thing, you know, where it's like kind of like you're fighting against your other half of your family, or feuding, things like that. And so it's really important for them to lay that to rest and to heal that. And so it would be really cool if they would just allow that to happen, you know, just stop the separation, you know. And so yeah and give the fucking people freedom, you know, like come on.
Well guys, you see, that's the moral of the story here, is that you know, it's time to turn over a new leaf in North Korea. And I love that that's where we ended up in this conversation. We started with, hey, what's Toltec shamanism all about? Oh, raven claws and like different things for lotto numbers. Okay, manifestations, the power of will. Okay. Puma Punku. Oh no, ancient technology, Egyptians, Puma Punku, and then North Korea. So that was, you know, that's been an interesting set of topics. And I'm really glad, you know, that's what happens when you interview a mutable sign. Just you kind of just talk about, like, unless I one of these days grow up and make like a list of questions like I was probably supposed to, I'm just going to keep having these awesome conversations instead.
Libra, you'll never do that.
I know, but I just sometimes talk about, you know, when I'm progressed Capricorn at like 90 years old, you know, maybe that's when I'll get into it. You know, for me, I'll have to be like 90 something.
Capricorn right
now. I think you are. Yeah.
Yeah, because I have Libra.
Yeah, you're full on progressed Capricorn.
Yeah, and I have Libra as
Libra rising,
and then Gemini as my moon.
Yeah, that's good. It's a good combo.
But I'm originally all mutable. Sun, in Sag, Pisces moon, and
you almost got the full set.
I know. The only thing I have in Gemini is Chiron. That's it.
Oh, that counts. Yeah, that counts. Yeah, let's count that. We're just okay, guys. You heard it here. Chiron counts. We're no longer going to be doing the 3 parts in astrology. We're going to be doing the 4. So you heard it here first. That's Ari's decision. We can't stop it. But anyways, for anyone who wants to check out Ari's amazing work, find her StariAri on Facebook. And also, of course, go to StariAri333.com. I've got the link in the chat as well. Sorry, it's been amazing having you on tonight. As always, super weird conversation, and I love it. And I love the directions it went. So, yeah.
Oh, hold on. Anne has a question. What does she say? As a medical intuitive, Ari, can you say something about what happens within or around a person that allows a virus to take hold? Oh, well, it really does depend. Like, I believe that with any disease, not just the coronavirus, with any disease, if the body's immunity is suppressed in some way, and usually immunity gets suppressed because of emotions, unresolved issues, as well as because they've manifest into a physical ailment, and that actually reduces your immunity because of it, because of stressors, uh, emotional things. I think that anybody who did get the coronavirus possibly had to experience that for a greater purpose, where they had to experience it to understand that whatever was going on in their life had to be resolved. You know, giving the time of recovery to take accountability, or to kind of like look at what's going on in their life, what issues had to be dealt with beyond their health, you know, because it always affords you the time to evaluate. And with any disease, you know, like if you're down for the count, like bedridden, it always gives you time to think, you know, like, okay, why did I end up here? You know, how did this happen? What issues am I being confronted with because of this? What pops in my head? What am I thinking of? You know, because as human beings, we tend to analyze, you know, we tend to have things from the past show up, you know, like kind of like a thought, like, oh, an ex-boyfriend showed up in my mind the other day. Like things like that need to be evaluated as to why. Why is this showing up? Why someone that you never thought of before, all of a sudden you're thinking about them, you know, like what happened? Evaluate.
And why do I have your ex-boyfriends showing up in my mind?
That's crazy.
Like that is like this is going just to a whole new rabbit hole. Okay, go on.
You know what I mean? And
yeah.
With anything like that, it feels that it's just a blessing in disguise in so many ways, because it gives you the time to finally heal the things that you needed to heal. It gives you the time to do self-healing on yourself too, understanding your body, understanding your immunity, understanding that you yourself are the only one that actually can boost your immunity to heal yourself, even if you have a placebo effect that happens. You know, like there's a lot of that with medicine. You know, a lot of people take medicine thinking that it's going to cure them of certain things, but in fact it's a placebo effect. The medicine is just assisting you into activating your self-healing abilities. And so that being said, with anybody who did get the coronavirus, if they did take medication, and if there was a successful thing, it's because you had that placebo effect happen. It's like the medicine didn't really heal you, you did. And that's what Toltec shamanism always emphasizes, is that you are your own healer. Yes, go ahead and take the medicine if you really think that you really need it, because you're putting faith into something to heal you, right? And because you really are putting that much emphasis and faith, and you're putting and ingesting it into yourself, you pretty much healed yourself. You know, you put that emphasis in that energy into that medicine, and you ingested it. You just healed yourself. So that's just my point of view.
That's beautiful. No, that's a great place to end off. After North Korea, then we get into the truth about self-healing. Yeah, the placebo effect is a very powerful thing. The lucid mystic who's here as well, she really focuses on lucid dreaming to get the placebo effect, or to use that as a healing. And you do this through Toltec shamanism as well?
Yes.
That's so awesome. I think, of course, there's so many different angles that are all going to lead us to the placebo effect, the power of it, because the thing is, it works. It just works.
Yeah,
so.
It does work, and it's mind over matter type of thing. It's like,
definitely.
Like, and I always believe that, like, if whatever helps you, it's because you are thoroughly investing in yourself. Even though it's something outside of you that you're thoroughly invested in, you're still ingesting it. It's still coming and becoming a part of you, and therefore emphasizing the healing, energy to take place. And so it feels like there's always a cycle. a cycle of healing, you know, whatever, like with people who use plant medicine like marijuana to heal or to reduce whatever is ailing them. They're having faith in something that's outside of themselves, and they're ingesting it or whatever, and then all of a sudden, bam, they feel better.
Yeah.
But understand this is just a temporary effect with certain things. So when we have the effect that no longer helps, instead of boosting it up to a higher dosage, more or less boost up your faith in yourself healing to a higher dosage instead of like overly ingesting, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's what I always emphasize with people is like with pain, you know, with pain medicine, instead of saying, oh, prescribe me a higher dose, why don't you emphasize on prescribing your healing as a higher dose? Like kind of like, this medicine is working for me because I'm emphasizing my healing through my own, you know, energy and things like that. So it's really important. It's really important to believe in yourself more than anything else.
Yeah.
like Jax always says, believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself every day, all day. That's the story of my life. Well, it has been awesome having you on tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight and being here. We really appreciate that. Make sure to go to Ari's channel, StariAri Toltec Shaman, and it's in the description, and there's a link to her website. And you can just find her on the internet, you know, on Facebook, and I'm sure Google. Twitter and Instagram. Google her, research her, stalk her. No, I'm just joking. But anyways, the point is find StariAri. She's awesome. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. We're going to be going live tomorrow for the Divine Trine Weekly Horoscope. So that will be on the Peace Dealers channel. So make sure to check that out. And we're going to have a blast.
5 p.m. Pacific. We're going to do some weekly astrology and some tarot.
Heck yeah. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, are we doing the energy thing too? The energy evals? Oh,
yes. Yes, we are.
Okay, awesome.
Yes, we are. Yeah, this is going to be a good one.
If you guys want to get touched by me, energetically speaking, go ahead and purchase that.
You're such a creepy old man sometimes.
I was like,
oh, don't do that. Don't make it like I'm feeling all touched.
That's gonna feel you up too, and so is Mike.
And mine's gonna be graceful. Mine's gonna be graceful and thoughtful. You know, I'm not gonna oogle and ogle. I'm not gonna do that. You're oogling and ogling all over the place, Sagittarius. Okay.
Well, women. But just kidding. I'm kidding.
Anyways, I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.
Bye.